Recorded Books and RB Digital present Bridging Infinity, edited by Jonathan Strahan, narrated by Suzie Althens, Ron Butler, Mimi Chang, Fiona Hardingham, Soneela Nankani, Michael Rahhal, and Michael Welch.
Bridging Infinity by Jonathan Strahan. Introduction. Science fiction is about thinking big and dreaming bigger. Okay, it's not always about that, but it often is. SF can be about a lot of things. But when I started reading science fiction, what grabbed me were stories that implied something greater, that opened out to a staggering, often cosmic scale. Whether it was what was implied in stories like Clarke's Childhood's End and The 9 Billion Names of God, the endless grandeur of Asimov's Trantor, or the almost giddy galaxy-smashing scale of early E. Doc Smith. The sense of wonder was what made me want to keep reading science fiction. The sense of wonder, though, is out of fashion these days. Nonetheless, it has played an important part in the project that is science fiction, and I think it's still relevant today. Jeff Pruker's Brave New Words, the Oxford Dictionary of Science Fiction, defines sense of wonder as a feeling of awakening or awe triggered by an expansion of one's awareness of what is possible, or by confrontation with the vastness of space and time as brought on by reading science fiction. It is science fiction's version of the sublime, which in art is defined as that quality of greatness, whether physical, moral, intellectual, metaphysical, aesthetic, spiritual, or artistic, which especially refers to greatness beyond all possibility of calculation, measurement, or imitation. Something awe-inspiring, in the truest sense, and it is often expressed in physical terms. When I was thinking about this, I began to wonder if there could be such a thing as a mechanical sublime, an engineering sublime, an instance where the tools we produce to address a problem or which we create for their own intrinsic value are of sufficient scale, sufficient scope, that they evoke a sense of awe and veneration that is similar to the sublime in art. Something like the Krell machines in Forbidden Planet. It seemed possible, and it might connect with one of science fiction's basic tenets, that problems can be solved. Science fiction, or at least the sort of science fiction that was typical in American pulp magazines from the 1930s to the 1950s, was founded on a belief that problems are solvable, and that those problems are solvable using technical or engineering solutions. When faced with a problem in a story in John W. Campbell's Astounding, our engineering hero wouldn't quail before the challenge, but would instead science the shit out of it, as Andy Weir so elegantly put it, and come up with an engineering solution to the problem. And sometimes it would take a big solution, a Hoover Dam, or maybe moving a planet or two. It was what had worked for the American dream throughout the first half of the 20th century. But as the atomic age came and went, we began to doubt it, and some of that doubt carries on today. Why? By the 1960s, the world seemed more complex, darker, more difficult, and the sort of human problems we face seemed to require something other than a better screwdriver, a smarter mousetrap, or a backyard-built rocket ship. With the new wave science fiction turned inwards and, to some extent, began to set sense of wonder to one side. Not that it ever went away, but it seemed like a hoarier, more cliched, less complex way to solve a problem in a story. And yet we keep coming back to it, as you can see in any number of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?